happy day, air signs. Welcome to your weekly reading for the week of June 25th through July 1st. I hope that wherever you are watching this, you're doing well. I hope that you're faring well. I hope that you are taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, air signs. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you're really needing to step up and take better care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, okay? Because when we take care of ourselves, right? When we take care of every aspect of ourselves, the clarity comes through, okay? The wisdom comes through, the truth comes through. And as I was meditating and just sitting with the cards and sharing some Reiki with you all, the three words that were coming through were truth, clarity, and wisdom. Okay, so allow yourself to just receive those words: truth, clarity, and wisdom. Okay, I'm seeing the image of a triangle. Okay, so we have truth, we have clarity, and then we have wisdom. Okay, so truth, clarity, and wisdom. Those are the words that are coming through for you. Also, as I was meditating before, maybe you've seen this movie, maybe you haven't. I don't really think I've seen it, but I've heard of it. But the movie The Great Debate was coming through. Is it The Great Debate, The Great Debaters? I think it's The Great Debate. But that movie was coming through, and I just kept hearing the word debate. I just kept hearing the word, like you're debating, like you're going back and forth with something, like your mind, in your mind right now, like you're experiencing the pendulum is swinging back and forth, right? And it's not really landing over here. It's not really landing over here. Or it's just swinging back and forth, right? It's not coming into this balanced space. It's just swinging back and forth, right? And that's what I'm seeing is happening within your energy field, within your mind right now, is just this swinging back and forth, this debating, okay? Like you're just going back and forth with yourself over something, about something. And so in order for you to come out of that space, you have to give to yourself. There's something you have to give to yourself, air signs. Okay? There's something you have to do for yourselves. Number one, you have to disconnect. Okay, number one, you have to disconnect. Number two, you have to give yourself a chance. Give yourself the chance to hear. Give yourself the chance to be still. Give yourself the chance to listen. Okay, because truth, wisdom, and clarity can't come through unless we are holding the space for it to come through. Okay, but if we are distracted, if we're pushing, then that's not going to come through. Okay, we're going to just be stuck in our head and we're going to be living from this space. And that debating isn't going to go away. Okay, because you're not creating the space for truth, clarity, and wisdom to come through. All right, so if that resonates with you, give yourself permission to step back so you can see things differently, okay? So that you can gain some clarity, so that you can hear and listen from your heart, from your spirit, okay? Because it's so easy to get caught up in what's going on within our mind. And so we have to, stillness is a gift that we give ourselves, right? Truth, wisdom, and clarity, those are gifts that we give ourselves. Those are gifts that God, that spirit gives to us. But again, we have to create the space for those things to come through, okay? Moving on is your oracle card, okay? Moving on is your oracle card, which I love. I mean, just turning it over and seeing it after everything that I just said, okay, that's the energy. That's the energy. Spirit is asking you to move on. You know what you need to move on from, but also let's stay in line with what we've already been looking at, right? Moving on from this anxiety, moving on from worrying, okay? Moving on also for you, air signs, means accepting, practicing acceptance, letting go and practicing acceptance. And again, what was I saying at the beginning? This conversation around giving back to yourself, okay? giving back to yourself, taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, taking care of yourself. When you're holding on, when you're going back and forth within your mind, rather than letting go and practicing acceptance, you're distracted from yourself. Okay, so Spirit is saying, listen, we're not asking you to give up, okay? We're asking you to move on because we're trying to take you into a new space, okay? Everything that's unfolding in your life right now, air signs, is unfolding in the way that, again, whether it's mentally, emotionally, energetically, physically, whatever's unfolding, in either of those ways or in all of those ways, whatever is unfolding, it's happening for your good. Okay, Spirit wants you to remember that it's happening for your good. Okay, we're not asking you to give up. We're asking you to move on. And we want you to know that it's time for you to move on. Okay, this asking of you to move on is for your own good, right? It's to benefit you. It's to benefit you. Okay, Spirit really wants you to hear that we're asking you to move on because we know, God is saying, I know what lies ahead. So you're being asked to trust the process. And in the process, you're being asked to tune into what it is that you need, mind, body, and spirit, to feed yourself, to nourish yourself. Okay, that's what you can do in the interim, right? That's what you can do in the interim, is take care of yourself. Give this energy that you've been giving to going back and forth in your mind, give that energy to yourself. All right. Whew, Lord Jesus, come. Okay, this is hilarious. 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is the first card. What was I saying? What was I saying the energy was? I love it because y'all know I don't see the cards. I pull them, they're face down. I don't see them. So this is the first card. And what was I talking about? This energy of going back and forth, this energy of debating, right? And the 7 of Cups is saying this debating, right? This debating is tearing you up. It's tearing you up inside. It's dragging you down. It's causing so much confusion. And the reason why is because you're not listening to yourself. You're not honoring truth. You're not creating space for clarity to come through. You're not seeking wisdom, okay? Air signs. And so Spirit is like, in order for this confusion to be cleared up, you need to seek wisdom. You need to seek wisdom. You need to seek truth, okay? And Spirit really wants you to hear that this truth, this wisdom that you're being called to seek, it's not going to come from anywhere but within you. It's going to come from within you. So again, this is why you need to be caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, mind, body, and spirit, because all 3 of those aspects of yourself need to be well fed, well taken care of, so that the truth, the wisdom, the knowledge can come through. When I'm working in group sessions or when I'm working one-on-one, I like to tell my clients, right, whenever it comes to our body is a filter. Spirit speaks to us through our body. Okay, so if our bodies are not being well taken care of, if our minds are not being well taken care of, it can be hard for the truth, wisdom, and clarity to come through, right? Because that space is what is the word? I lost the word, but because that space is so crowded, the truth, wisdom, and clarity can't come through. So there's this idea through the 7 of Cups coming up that you need to do a much better job at nurturing yourself, right? So this is why you're needing to move on, right? This is why Spirit is asking you to move on, because the energy that you're giving to the debating, to the going back and forth, the energy that you're giving to the questioning, okay, to the questioning, what's going on, why is it going on, right? That energy you need to be pouring back into yourself. You need to be giving to yourself so that you can create the space for truth, clarity, and wisdom to come through, okay? Because Spirit wants you to hear also that in Spirit, in God, there is no confusion. So if you're confused, it's because you're stuck in your mind. It's because you're stuck in your ego. It's because you're looking to your own self. It's because you're listening to everything in the external world rather than your heart, rather than your spirit. Okay? And so that's causing some disruption from the inside out. And so Spirit really wants you to see that this confusion can be cleared out instantaneously if you just make the choice to tune in to yourself. Queen of Coins. Queen of Coins. So what we have here with the Queen of Coins, okay, air signs, is we have this call for you to mother the aspects of yourself that contribute to this feeling of insecurity that dwells within you, that has been dwelling within you for a very long time. So Spirit is saying, we need you to identify those insecurities. Don't deny them. Don't deny them. Don't avoid looking at them. We need you to identify what these insecurities are that are living within you, and then we need you to take out some time to mother yourself, to nurture yourself, so that these insecurities can be released, so that you can surrender the insecurities, because the insecurities are contributing to your being stuck. Okay, the insecurities are contributing to you being stuck. And so Spirit is like, we're needing you to move on, because we want to help you create a more solid and strong foundation within yourself. So then that internal foundation, as within, so without, so that internal foundation can express itself in the external world. But right now, there's so much insecurity within you that needs to be nurtured. Again, going back to the conversation of feeding yourself, mind, body, and spirit. And the reason why is because God has some things for you. God has some things for you. God has some things for you, air signs. And God is ready for you to receive them. But you have to get out of your own way. Seven of Cups. You have to get out of your own way, okay? Again, Spirit, God is not asking you to give up. God is just asking you to move on, because God has some things for you, right? You're being called to evolve, to transcend, okay? Transcending those insecurities, moving on from those insecurities, right? That's what Spirit is calling you to move on from, is those insecurities. God is calling you to transcend those insecurities that have kept you stuck for lifetimes, it feels like. All right. And then we have the Page of Coins. Page of Coins. Page of Coins. So I'm hearing the word or phrase or words lollygagging around. Okay? Lollygagging around. Lollygagging around. Spirit is asking you to play, air signs. Spirit is asking you to incorporate play in your life. Part of the way that this confusion is going to clear up is if you give yourself permission to play. How did you like to play as a child? Okay, because Page of Coins is speaking to childhood, adolescence energy. Okay, so the Page of Coins is coming through for a few different reasons. Okay, and through the Page of Coins, what we have is you reconnecting with those things that lit you up as a child. Okay, what lit you up as a child? People, things, places, experiences that lit you up as a child. Reconnecting with the energy behind those things, right? Reconnecting with the energy that those people possessed, right? Reconnecting with the energy, okay, that you felt through those experiences, through those moments during your childhood that made you happy, that made you feel this joy flowing from within yourself, or this bliss, okay? So also with the Page of Cups, or Page of Coins that we have, when the page is present, that means, okay, because here we go, Spirit asking you to move on, right? So with the Page of Coins, what we also have is this conversation around maturing, growing up, okay? Not, we become adults and we forget. We forget our innocence, okay? We turn away from our innocence. So Spirit is asking you to let go. And this came up in a conversation during the weekly group meditation that I hosted this past week. This idea of letting go of the idea of being an adult, right? And someone in the group session said, you know, letting go of the idea of being an adult, but while still maintaining a sense of responsibility, all right? Because what I'm hearing through the Page of Coins is that some of your childhood, a lot of your childhood may have been overwhelmed with responsibility, when really you should have just been worried about being a kid, playing around, having fun, okay? And so the Page of Coins is saying mentally and emotionally, you're needing to really grow up and mature. But whenever it comes to your person and your being, we want you to reconnect with this childlike air and innocence, okay, that you still have access to. You still have access to, because that energy will shift a lot for you. If you can ground into that childlike energy. You know, Jesus in the Bible said, be like the little, do you see these little children? Be like the little children. So air signs, be like, if you have kids, if you have nieces, nephews, friends with kids, observe them. Observe them. And take notes of their energy. And then give yourself permission to integrate that energy. Okay? Give yourself to integrate that energy. Air signs. It's time. It's time. It's time for you to... and that's why the Queen of Coins is here too, right? The Queen of Coins is here too. You have the Queen of Coins before the Page of Coins, okay? So you have the mother energy and spirit before the child energy and spirit. So with those two together, we're looking at this redefining the relationship that you had with your mother figure, right? Looking at it, identifying what was going on during your childhood between yourself and your mother, or the maternal figure that raised you. Looking at that energy, looking at that dynamic, offering forgiveness, right? Offering forgiveness and grace. Offering forgiveness and grace as well, right? Because this relationship in your childhood, in your adolescence, could be what contributed to a lot of your insecurities. Okay? And so you really need to look at that. You really need to forgive and release the past, because the past, holding on to the past, okay? So we're moving on from the past. We're moving on from the past. You're moving on from the past, air signs, because holding on to the past is not serving you. It's really causing some damage, okay? Mentally and emotionally. And you may not feel it all the time, but in the moments that you do feel it, it comes through super heavy. And the reason why is because Spirit is trying to get you to let go, okay? Spirit is really trying to get you to let go. Gemini, your clarifying card is the Moon. The Moon, and I love it. I love that your clarifying card is the Moon, because the Moon signifies that you need to step into the shadows. The Moon signifies, Gemini, that you need to step into the shadows. You need to do some inner child work. You need to do some inner child work. You need to get into the inner child work, Gemini. Okay? And part of the reason why, okay, because for you, we have the Seven of Cups, okay? The Seven of Cups is down here. This was the first card for y'all. And then your clarifying card is on top of the Seven of Cups, okay? Which I love, because a part of the inner child work, a part of the shadow work for you, Gemini, has everything to do with you being confused about who you are. Okay, it has everything to do, this confusion has a lot to do with you being confused about who you are. Okay, about you looking at yourself through a very dark lens. Okay, and so the shadow work that you're being called to do has everything to do with you. Where did your self-perception come from? Which one of your parental figures, okay, this self-perception that you're carrying, did it come from your maternal figure? Are you carrying the burden of your maternal figure's self-perception, Gemini? If you are, this shadow work that you're being called to do is shadow work that will benefit both of you. Even if your maternal figure is not in the work in the way that you are, this shadow work that you do around self-perception, Gemini, will benefit your maternal figure and you, right? And so this is why forgiveness is key, Gemini. This is why forgiveness is key, because listen, the past is the past and everything is what it is, and there's no undoing. But there is evolving, there is transcending, and sometimes there are certain individuals within family dynamics that are called to really engage in and do the work. And if you're watching this, if you're receiving this, that's you, Gemini, okay? So do the shadow work this week. Aquarius, your clarifying card is the Three of Wands. Your clarifying card is the Three of Wands, okay? Transformation, Aquarius. Transformation through your own love. Transforming your life, transforming yourself through how you love yourself. Again, what was I saying? Really feeding yourself, nurturing yourself, mind, body, and spirit, taking out the time to nurture and feed yourself, okay? Aquarius, you could really focus a lot on, and I feel like this has come up for you before, you tend to focus a lot on the material and the physical aspect of yourself, and you end up neglecting the emotional, mental, and energetic, spiritual aspect of yourself. So Spirit is saying we need you to encompass all of those aspects within the work that you're doing in your life. Okay, because the Three of Wands is showing that the battle that you experience is not against anything or anyone outside of you, Aquarius. It's you against yourself. And so in order for that battle to come to an end, how you will transform your life is it's in how you love yourself. You will experience transformation through yourself. Okay, through shifting your internal world. All right, so the Three of Wands is again, you know, I was talking about insecurities with the Queen of Coins. So where do your insecurities lie, Aquarius? If you're familiar with the chakra system, the solar plexus chakra is coming through and is connected to the wands, and so that's where our willpower, our determination, who we see ourselves as, that's where that lives. So what insecurities are you carrying? What insecurities are you carrying within you? Do you struggle with gut issues? Is gut health a problem for you? Because that will show you, right, what kind of insecurities you're holding on to. So Aquarius, you're really being called to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and see that it's you versus you, okay? And not you versus you as in like, oh, I have to defeat myself. You are fighting against yourself, okay? And that's what is causing a lot of the confusion for you. You have a tendency, Aquarius, to also project, onto the world around you, onto people, right? As if it's what you're feeling within yourself has anything to do with people outside of yourself. And Spirit wants you to hear that. No, it's you against you. We need you to look in the mirror. And Libra, we have your clarifying card is the Strength card, which I love. I love for you. Your clarifying card is the Strength card. Okay. Libra, what I'm hearing, okay, is that the Strength card is coming through because, again, asking you to really step back, disconnect, so that you can spend time with yourself, okay? Because Libra, I'm hearing you really need to identify what your strengths are, okay? Remember, we talked about these insecurities and the, you know, it's possible, Libra, that for you, the strengths, your strengths just were not uplifted. They weren't nurtured during your childhood, right? During your childhood, they weren't nurtured, they weren't uplifted, they weren't really even identified. And so Libra, this mothering energy, remember I was saying it's y'all are being asked as air signs to begin to really mother yourself, to nurture yourself. So for you, the conversation, Libra, is that you need to identify these insecurities so that you can surrender your attachment to them, so that you can then identify what your strengths are. Okay? Because if not, you're going to continue to allow your insecurities to to dictate the narrative for you, okay? And so Spirit is saying, really identify what those insecurities are so that you can ground into your strengths, all right? I love y'all so much, air signs. I'm sending you so much love this week because this is a really powerful reading, but it's very, you know, sensitive. This is a sensitive reading. This energy for y'all is sensitive this week. So if you find yourself, you know, mentally and emotionally feeling very sensitive, can you take out the time to nurture yourself instead of seeking it from people outside of yourself, instead of seeking it from friends, parents, lovers, children? Can you nurture yourself? Can you pour this loving energy back into yourself? Can you step back? Can you disconnect so that you can feed yourself, so that you can empower yourself, so that you can create the space for truth, clarity, and wisdom to come through, so that you can move on from the insecurity, so that you can move on from the past and the way that it's controlled you, all right? I love y'all so very much. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being present. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for supporting always, right? If you want to work with me one-on-one, or if you want to join the weekly group session that I host every Thursday night, feel free to sign up by using the link in the description box, okay? If you don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support. And we are growing. This channel is growing. Y'all are helping me grow, and I really appreciate it, all right? I love y'all, and I'll see you next time.